Ever wonder why your love life feels like a series of read messages without replies? Or like you're always the one watching rom-coms alone with a tub of ice cream? It's not just you. It's a puzzle many of us are trying to solve. Now, before we go blaming the universe or our lack of charm, let's take a moment to chat about something a bit closer to home. Maybe, just maybe, it's some of those stubborn mindsets of ours playing the stealthy matchmaker from hell. We're not here to point fingers or lay down blame. Nah, this is more about shining a friendly flashlight on those little gremlins in our heads telling us all the reasons why we're better off single. You know, those thoughts that sneak up on us when we least expect it and might be nudging us away from some pretty awesome connections. So grab your metaphorical flashlight and let's go gremlin hunting together. Who knows? We might just uncover why "it's complicated" is your relationship status of choice and how flipping a switch on those thoughts could lead you to something great. First up, we've got the checklist champion. You know who you are. You've got this mental checklist stored away, kind of like a secret recipe you swear by for finding the perfect partner. It's detailed, it's specific, and boy, is it thorough. From their taste in music right down to the way they sip their coffee, if they don't check off every item, they're not making it to round 2. Now, don't get me wrong. It's definitely smart to have standards and know what you're looking for. After all, you wouldn't go shopping for a new phone without knowing the features you want, right? But here's the catch. People aren't smartphones. They're complex, unpredictable, and full of surprises. When we treat dating like we're ticking off items on a shopping list, we risk overlooking someone truly special. They might not have every single quality on your list, but they could offer something you didn't even know you needed. Think about it. Maybe they're not the avid book reader you imagined spending your Sundays with, but they have a way of making you laugh so hard that you forget to check your phone. Or perhaps they don't know their Cabernet from their Chardonnay, but they're passionate about making the world a better place. These qualities might not be on your checklist, but they're the ones that breathe life into a relationship, making it rich, fulfilling, and, yes, a bit unexpected. So, here's a thought. What if we loosened up on that checklist a bit? I'm not saying throw it out the window. Just, be open to the idea that the perfect person for you might not come in the package you're expecting. It's about finding a balance between knowing what you want and being open to surprises, because sometimes the best things in life are the ones we never saw coming. Let's start looking beyond the checklist and give chance encounters a chance. Who knows? The next person you meet might not meet your initial criteria, but could end up being exactly what you've been looking for all along. Life's too short to be lived by a checklist. Let's make room for a little spontaneity and see where it takes us. After all, love is full of surprises, and the best relationships often begin where our checklists end. Next is the fortress builder. Your heart is in maximum security lockdown, safer than a squirrel's stash before winter. It's all about self-preservation, keeping the pain out, and honestly, who can blame you? Getting hurt is no fun, and if history's taught you anything, it's that people can sometimes be like clumsy kids in a china shop. But, and there's always a but, those walls you've built, they're doing a bang-up job keeping out more than just potential heartache. They might also be blocking the path to some really great connections. Think about it. Yes, staying safe means you avoid getting hurt, but it also means you might be passing up on the kind of laughter that makes your stomach ache, conversations that stretch into the wee hours of the morning, and someone who gets you, truly gets you. Finding the sweet spot between keeping your guard up and letting people in isn't easy. It's like trying to walk a tightrope with no safety net. Exciting, but kind of terrifying. The trick? Start small. You don't have to fling open the gates and let everyone in all at once. Maybe just lower the drawbridge a tad. Let someone take a peek inside the fortress. It could be as simple as sharing a bit more about your day, your thoughts, or what makes you tick with someone you trust. Remember, it's not about dismantling your defenses overnight. It's more about tweaking the security settings, so your heart isn't on lockdown 24/7. Who knows? By opening up bit by bit, you might find that the world outside your fortress walls isn't as scary as you thought. And the people? They might just surprise you by being kinder, more understanding, and more like you than you ever imagined. So here's to the brave fortress builders out there. May you find the courage to crack open your gates just enough to let some light in. After all, The best treasures are often found not by keeping the world out, but by letting it in, one cautious step at a time. Ah, the comparison connoisseur. You're scrolling through your feed, and bam, there it is. Another picture-perfect couple beaming into the camera. Hashtag blessed, hashtag love of my life. And there you are, in your PJs, wondering why your love life isn't a series of perfectly filtered snapshots. It's like everyone else got the manual to a picture-perfect relationship, and you're just winging it with the cliff notes. But here's the deal. Social media? It's the highlight reel, the best bits of everyone's lives served up in a glossy, envy-inducing package. What we don't see are the arguments over who forgot to take out the trash, the silent treatments, and the compromise. Oh, the compromise. That goes into making a relationship work. It's like comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's blockbuster movie. Falling into the comparison trap is like running on a treadmill. You're going hard, but you're not actually going anywhere. It's exhausting, disheartening, and let's be real, a total waste of energy. Instead of measuring your love life against someone else's curated feed, why not focus on your own journey? Your path might not be splashed across social media, but that doesn't make it any less valid or beautiful. The truth is, every relationship, just like every individual, is unique. They've all got their quirks, challenges, and moments of pure magic. And your future epic love story? It's on its way at its own pace in its own time. It doesn't need to look like anyone else's to be perfect for you. So next time you catch yourself playing the comparison game, take a step back. Remind yourself that for every picture-perfect moment, there's a whole lot of real life happening off camera. Your focus? It should be on building a connection that's meaningful to you, not one that racks up likes. After all, the best love stories are lived, not liked. Then there's the perpetual pessimist, our not-so-silent companion. You know the drill. Every time the idea of a date or even just a flirt comes up, there's that little voice in your head, already drafting the concession speech. Why bother? It's just going to end in disaster. It's like you're the writer, director, and lead actor in your own tragedy, where love is the villain out to get you. But here's a thought. What if, just once, we didn't let that voice call the shots? Sure, guarding your heart against disappointment is a strategy, but it's also like refusing to go to the beach because you might get sunburned. Yes, protecting yourself is important, but there's a whole ocean out there you're missing out on. Embracing a bit of optimism isn't about wearing rose-colored glasses or pretending everything's always fine. It's about giving yourself permission to hope, to believe that maybe, just maybe, things could go right this time. It's about letting yourself imagine the possibility of a connection that doesn't end in heartbreak but instead leads to something genuinely good. Think of it this way. Every chance we don't take is a guaranteed miss. By shifting even a tiny bit towards optimism, you're opening the door to potential connections, experiences, and yes, even happiness. It's like deciding to show up to the game, even if you're convinced you won't win. Because who knows? The game might just surprise you. So, next time you find yourself gearing up for another round of why bother, try hitting pause. Ask yourself, but what if it does work out? That shift, that tiny crack in the armor of pessimism, could be the very thing that lets the light in. And who knows, in that light you might just find what you've been looking for all along. After all, even the perpetual pessimist deserves a shot at a happy ending. Last but not least, the lone wolf legend. You're the master of your own universe, completely self-sufficient, and frankly, pretty proud of it. Your solo journey has been epic, filled with adventures, self-discovery, and a freedom that's downright intoxicating. The idea of changing up this winning formula? It feels like inviting someone else to pilot your carefully navigated ship, and why fix what isn't broken, right? But here's a little food for thought. What if adding someone to your crew didn't mean giving up the helm, but rather finding a co-captain? Someone who's not there to take over but to add their own unique perspective, making the journey even richer. It's not about clipping your wings or halting your solo flights. It's about sharing the skies and discovering new horizons together that you might not have found on your own. Embracing the possibility of a +1 in your adventures doesn't mean sacrificing your cherished independence. It's about enhancing your world, not shrinking it. Think of it as teaming up with a fellow explorer, someone who gets the thrill of the solo journey but also knows how enriching shared experiences can be. So, if you've been riding solo, convinced that it's the only way to fly, maybe it's time to open up the possibility of a co-pilot. Someone who respects your need for space and freedom, but is also ready to join you for the ride, adding to the story rather than rewriting it. Remember, the lone wolf legend has its own allure, but even wolves run in packs for a reason. Finding someone who complements your independence doesn't mean giving it up. It means building something new together, a partnership where both your solo and shared adventures thrive. So why not see where a little duo exploration can take you? Who knows, the next chapter could be even more legendary. And there you have it, folks. The 5 mindsets that might be keeping you firmly in the single zone. Whether you're a checklist champion, building fortresses around your heart, caught in the comparison trap, stuck in pessimism, or embracing the lone wolf lifestyle a tad too fiercely. Remember this. Awareness is the first step toward change. It's not about overhauling who you are or making drastic changes overnight. Instead, it's about tweaking those mindsets little by little, opening yourself up to the possibility of something more. Because at the end of the day, sharing your journey with someone can add a whole new layer of richness to life's adventures. And who knows, by adjusting your sails just a bit, you might find yourself on a course to connections you never thought possible. If you recognized yourself in any of these mindsets, or if you've got your own stories of overcoming them, we'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Your insights and experiences could light the way for someone else to navigate their own path to connection. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful or interesting. It really helps us out. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more content designed to make you think, laugh, and maybe even learn a thing or two about yourself. Remember, life's a journey filled with learning and growing. And sometimes, all it takes is a slight shift in perspective to open up a whole new world of possibilities. So, keep exploring, stay open, and who knows? The next great adventure might just be around the corner. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep those mindsets in check and your hearts open. See you in the next video.